is to share with you these 100 tests that my master teaches us. So my master teaches me, I want to share with you. And these 100 tests are very practical. They're easy to do, but they have big Dharma lessons behind them. So now let's take a look. Down the page, number 1. Can we read number 1 together? Discover your greatest shortcoming and be willing to correct it. Do we know if we have any shortcomings? Do we know if we have any shortcomings? Know what shortcoming? Your weakness. Do we know if we have any weakness? For example, bad temper. Do we know if any weakness? For example, I am not a good cook. For example, once upon a time, a long, long time ago, not very long, but once upon a time when I was younger, I was very afraid of heights. Anybody afraid of heights? Yeah, it's quite common, isn't it? So what do you do if you're afraid of heights? Every time you go up to a tall building, you sweat. And then you want to get out of the building. Now, do you want to live with that for the rest of your life? No. You want to overcome that fear, right, of heights. What's the best way to overcome your fear of heights?
To go through it.
To go through it. To face it. To overcome it. So, before I became a monastic, and when I was in Singapore, I took up a sport called rock climbing.
Wow.
You know what rock climbing is? You know, you go up those rocks, and then going up is easy because you don't have to look down. The difficult part is that what goes up must come down. So at some point in time, I had to come down. Now that was the problem. I was breaking out in cold sweat, trying to come down. And in the end, I just tell the instructor, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know what he did? Push me over. And then after a few times of cold sweat, guess what? I overcome that fear. And thankfully, I overcame that fear because I became a monastic. And as a monastic, we have to go climb all the pagodas to clean all the Buddhas and Bodhisattva statues. And the pagodas are very high, very tall. And I cannot say, I don't dare. Monastics cannot say that. So therefore, it was a good thing I overcame that fear when I was younger. So, do we have fears?
Yes.
So what should we do? Make a resolve to overcome that fear. So this is what this first thing means. First, discover it. Can we discover? That's not easy. That means you have to look into the mirror. Do we like to look in the mirror? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Do we like to look at the mirror? See, sometimes we don't even like to look at the mirror because we don't like what we see. Or we fear what we see. Now, if we don't look in the mirror and look at ourselves, why should we ask other people to look at us? So first thing, we must learn to look into the mirror and smile to the mirror. Because when we smile, we are beautiful. Better than when we frown anyway. Better than when we are angry. So every morning when we wake up, I hope you will spend some time brushing your teeth and looking in the mirror and smile. And like what you look at first. If you don't like what you look at in the first thing in the morning, you expect your colleagues and your friends and your parents to like who you are? Difficult. So first thing, look at that. And then as the day goes on, don't just admire yourself. As the day goes on, ask yourself, what do I not like about what I'm seeing? What's outside is not as important as what is inside. Who is our best mirror? People around us. When you see them frowning, when you see them unhappy about what I just said, what I just done, or my facial expression, then we know we are causing difficulties to other people. They are our mirrors. And that's when I have to ask, what have I done wrong? You know, it's very common that we always say, so-and-so is wrong, so-and-so is no good. They are doing all the bad things to me and to this society and to... what are all of them doing? What are they voting for? It's always them, right? We always point outwards to all the problems that's out there in the world, therefore affecting me. It's all these banks that's causing me to have no job. It's all these Californian budget deficits. It's all these senators, congressmen who cannot manage. Really? This is external. How do I react to the external environment? What have I done to accumulate my savings for rainy days? What have I done in order to use the time that I have if I have been laid off? So discover my own shortcomings, and then the second part is very important, be willing to correct it. Have you heard stories of cancer patients who have recovered? Terminally ill patients declared that they will have no more chance and terminally ill, end of life, and yet through their willpower, through correcting their life habits, through correcting their diet, they survive. And they survive to tell their stories. I've seen on YouTube, monastics watch YouTube these days, no choice. I've seen on YouTube a man with no feet and no legs. And yet, he was going around the world sharing a story of success. I've seen also on TV, handicapped people who join their handicap Olympics. If they can do it, why can't we? We are blessed by the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas with good body, with good willpower. We don't have such major crises as many of these people. We are very lucky to be here in California. We are so much luckier than people in war zones or who have no food. We can enjoy food afterwards. We have so much going for us. Are we making the best use of what we have so that we can paint a beautiful me? So the first of the 100 tasks, I feel personally, it's very important, and that we all should treasure. Every day, as I look into the mirror, I should also look inside. And every time if I meet anybody and I think that person is not doing a good deed to me, that person is slandering me, that person is making life difficult for me, I have to thank this person. This is a bodhisattva. This person, this bodhisattva is actually my mirror.